What's up, y'all? I am back again with, I think, part 4 of Spotting Common Miracles. I've been gone for a couple days, y'all. Number one, because it was the weekend. It was a busy weekend. Y'all know it's Mother's Day weekend. But also I had the little cooties. I still got a little something going on, but I'm feeling a little better now. So this is the first day I got on. So if I'm sounding like a little sexy man, that's okay. Just not too much. Hopefully my voice completely returns. But I'm gonna tell y'all today in part 4 how I ended up landing in therapy. So it's kind of a funny story in retrospect, but it was not, my behavior was not funny back then. It wasn't funny, but it's funny to me now. So I want to lead by just speaking from my own personal experience. The way that depression was so debilitating for me is because I struggled with, and I could sometimes still kind of deal with, but I'm able to more readily talk myself out of it. I really struggle with what's called rumination, if you've never heard that word. Rumination is a very passive, consistent, pervasive self-talk that's essentially internalized, but you're not even choosing to say the things or think the things there. The thoughts are just there. And you often tend to have like negative thought spirals when you deal with rumination. And so that was the deepest way in which I was conflicted in my season of depression. It wasn't that I couldn't get out of bed, because I kind of didn't have no option. I was a dean of students. I was a mother of 2. I was a wife. I was still, I think, maybe in the choir at the time. Like, I was still doing all the things. So I wasn't in the bed. I wasn't withdrawn. I was still very boisterous and out front and interactive and engaged. But I was like slowly dying inside, right? But the reason why I was slowly cracking internally was because the prison that I couldn't get out of, I could get out the bed. I could put on some clothes. I couldn't get out my head. Like, the devil, like I said, I was, faith rather than faith centered, because it ain't all about that. But if I'm going to tell my testimony, it definitely is faith forward. The devil figured out that I could attack her body and she would still find a way to keep getting up, right? I could attack her finances and she would be innovative enough to try to get creative and make that money stretch. But if I attack her mind, because Jasmine regards herself as a pretty bright lady and pretty resolute in her thinking, if I can get her to have some thoughts in her head and really get her to like marinate on them things, I can have her destroy herself. I ain't gonna have to kill her. She'll do it herself. And so what landed me in therapy was actually, we took a family trip in July of 2023. And I remember this distinctly now, thinking back on it, the whole trip, everybody's having a ball. The kids in the pool and in the sand and in the ocean, they loving it. They happy, they giggling, fa la la, elevator music playing in everybody's heads because we don't have to work. We just having a good time. We eating good. And I was miserable. I'm tell you why. The sound of my kids giggling irritated me. Watching my husband play and frolic in the water with the kids, which should make me teary-eyed. Like, oh, that's so sweet. Especially seeing a black man engage with his kids in a healthy manner. They having a good time. Irked. Restaurants people want to go to, they didn't have one item on the menu that I wanted. Irritated. Like, just irritable, irritated, bothered, unhappy, miserable. And it's like low-key uncomfortable to say that. That other people's joy bothered me. But I think in retrospect, when I look at it, I think I was really jealous and like envious and resentful at the time, because I just, like, the happy couldn't reach me. Like, it's like, what y'all so excited for? It's just what, like, I just was super pessimistic. And I don't know if anybody else has dealt with that in a season of, depression or any other issue or illness. But how it really impacted me, how the illness really impacted me, was it gave me such a negative filter. Like, I was defensive about everything. I always saw the glass as like half empty rather than half full. I took things that were maybe not even personal as a very personal attack with intention, with malicious intent. And in turn, I was intentionally malicious in the things that I said or in my mannerisms and how I dealt with people. Because if you caught me crossways, oh, I'm going to get it back. I'm going to pay it back. It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow. But I'm going to pay that energy back. And it was like holding on to that negative energy, holding on to that resentment, holding on to that dissatisfaction and that irritation and that aggression that I had to hold on to be ready to attack back, whether it was going to be verbally, professionally, whatever. Like, I just wasn't nice. Like, I just wasn't nice, and I wasn't happy. And I couldn't give anyone credit for the good that they were trying to do because I only saw the bad in it. Like, I made it bad because my filter, when I say my filter, I'm talking about my perspective. The way in which, if you think about a filter, something being poured in a filter, you can, or strainer rather. If you pour that spaghetti in the strainer, you're going to keep the pasta, but you're going to lose that pasta water, right? And so you kept the thing that you wanted to keep, but you strained off what you didn't need. What I was keeping was the matter that was meant to be discarded, right? I'm missing the pasta. I'm missing all the stuff of value. But I paid attention to that minute way that your face was looking when you said a thing. So now I'm stuck on, based on the way her face was looking when she said, that's the cute outfit. She actually was trying to be funny. Like, she wasn't giving me a compliment. Or based on the tone he used when he said this, he really don't care about me. Even though he said, I'm really trying to understand where you're coming from. He ain't trying to hear where I'm coming from because his face tell me different. Like, it really, like, when I think about it, the mind is so powerful because it changed my perspective. It changed my movements. It changed my personality. It changed my view on life. And at a point by December of 23, it changed me viewing like the worth of life, honestly. It got that bad. But we're not there yet. So what really catalyzed me going to therapy from that vacation was I had a moment with my husband, a very minor disagreement. Like, he might have said something that I thought was like petty or whatever. Nothing like where you like, oh, this the end of the world. Like, that was blatantly disrespectful. It was just petty, right? He irritated me, which I irritate him all the time, even still. We get on each other's nerves. But I sat with that thing and I was like, you know what? We gonna break up. I'm gonna just leave him. Cause he don't care about me. He don't care about my feelings. Yep, that's the right thing to do. That's the right thing to do. I'm just gonna stand on business. If he don't know how to say things to me the way that I like, then I'm out of here, right? Forget the 2 kids. Forget the 12 at that time, 13 years. Forget the legal marriage. Forget that we made a covenant before God. I'm gone. I'm gone because he pissed me off today, right now. And so to that point, he has this plan. He has family get the kids. He's like, okay, I'm gonna take Jasmine on the day. He's already orchestrated all this. He got his plans going on. I'm still in my head about how when we get back home, I'm gonna have to leave this man. How am I finna tell this man I'm gonna have to leave him when we get back to Nashville because he irritated me today. So next week I'm gonna let him know I'm finna have to go on because yeah. So he's thinking about what he can do to make me happy, what he could do to put a smile on his wife's face, who's obviously not wanting to smile in a minute. I'm thinking about how I'm finna be out the door, right? So we're in the car, we're in the rental going to the restaurant, and we get one exit away. He's asking me to look at the GPS. Hey, Jasmine, can you tell me where we turn it off now? Because, of course, we're in another state, another city. I'm like, low-key ain't no point in me telling you. Like, I don't know why we're going to a restaurant when we finna get a divorce. Wait, what? So he's like, what you just say to me? I'm like, I'm standing on business. I don't know why I need to tell you the directions to no restaurant. We not finna be together. What we going to dinner for? And I know in his mind, because if you know my husband for real, I know in his mind, he was like, she's crazy as hell. Like, she crazy as hell. This is dumb as hell. And I would rather be on Pluto than having this conversation right now. But he entertained me because I think he could tell I was on a ledge that I wasn't gonna be able to get myself up off of. Because I'm not thinking with reason at this point. I'm all emotion, no logic. So we missed the exit 4 times, needless to say. We finally make it there. But during our time discussing, he's like, literally, babe, you gonna give me an ultimatum? Like, because I upset you? Like, why not just communicate what you need or how you feel? And in my mind, okay, this is how I communicate or how I feel. You can't do what I need you to do. You can't say it how I need you to say. You can't show love in the way I receive love, or say things the way I want you to say them. If I can't control you because I feel out of control internally, is really what it was. If I can't control everything else around me, since I feel so out of control in my own body, in my own mind, then go on. I'm done with it. You know, I can quit you. I can't quit my kids, but I can quit this. And looking back on it, that is like so selfish. It's so real. I ain't lying about a lick of it. But it's so selfish. Because how insecure do you make your partner by telling them they make one mistake? Not I whooped your butt, or I done went out there and been unfaithful and brought a baby back. Like, you can go on and dip out, sis. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't never telling you to beg for nobody to do you right. But this man, like, he going to work. He is actively engaged in our kids' lives. He respects me and loves me. He just pissed me off one time on a singular day. And I'm like, bye. I'm gone. And I'm like resolute in that thing. I'm gone when we get back home. It is so selfish, because what it tells that person is that because I don't arrive at being or doing 100% of what you expect 100% of the time, you are ready to just throw all my efforts, my focus, my intentions, my love, all of that away. Like, and the hard thing with being in that place is it creates like a vicious cycle where, again, speaking in I statements, I was so insecure, not even just about my like aesthetic, because I definitely had that going on, but insecure just internally. Like, I literally felt out of my mind and out of my body, and I had never been out of control. And I pride myself on keeping a degree of control of the things around me. Like, that was what I needed to feel okay, to feel successful. And so being completely and feeling completely out of control, it was like I had this need to then assert power or authority over things that wasn't meant for me to be in control of anyway, you know? And it was so negatively impactful, because I would say things and I would come up with these crazy behaviors and explanations for why things needed to be a certain way, or, you know, why somebody didn't love me if they didn't do it my way, or why somebody didn't care about me if they didn't see it from my point of view. And it's just so unfair, because not only was I in prison in my own mind, but I was creating one for my husband. Honestly, like, when I look back at it now, home was not a safe place. It was not a place of refuge, because you had to go to work, which was hard. And on top of that, he's a black man in a higher position. And he had to come home and argue with his wife that's unstable as hell and want to pick a fight about how all the work he put in all day, which is a product of how much he cares about her and the family, how he don't love and don't care about her. And I'm not discounting or saying that sometimes that isn't the truth. It's just that in my situation, it was not the truth. Like, it was not the truth. Everything he did and does was to make sure we were going to be all right. Now, he and I have 2 different love languages. Totally different. I'm words of affirmation, physical touch. He's acts of service, quality time. So we on 2 different ends of the spectrum. And so we have to make accommodations for one another to make sure that the other feels love, because our nature is to give it in the way that we want to receive it, right? So be mindful of that, understanding of that. But some of the very pessimistic views about him loving me, caring for me, his intent to do harm or whatever because something was a misunderstanding, and ultimately I need to get a divorce from this man because he don't care nothing about me based on one incident, like one verbal disagreement, is crazy. And so I just wanted to share with you all today, like, learn to be mindful. The hardest thing for me was to be boldly accountable for how I was self-sabotaging. Like how I was literally thrusting myself deeper into a cycle of depression because I had such an allegiance with my own thoughts and feelings and the behaviors attached to those thoughts and feelings that were often not even rooted in truth. So if you're going through, or if you have been through and you trying to stay out of depression or anxiety or whatever the case might be, like, learn to be mindful. Think about your thinking. Like, that was how I got in therapy, was that moment. He didn't tell me, like, you need to go to therapy. What I arrived at is, oh, this ain't normal. Like, I can even identify that. This ain't normal. I've been with this guy since I was right when I was gonna be 21, and he say one thing, and I'm like, yep, that's it. I'm gone. That's it. I'm done. Like, with nothing else to substantiate that type of move. And with no regard for the collateral damage of that type of choice. Sometimes it's necessary. And I'm not advocating for you to stay in a situation that's not good for you. But my situation wasn't a bad one. You know, I just had my thoughts and my feelings, and I let them have me. Instead of me having them, they had me. I had no logic. I had all feeling. So, like, really be mindful. And I don't know what format that comes in. For some people, they need to journal. For some people, they need to talk to somebody. For me, I chose a therapist because I wanted somebody impartial. I didn't want to talk to my mom and my daddy. I love them to death. But my marriage is mine, and I covet it as that. I don't want to be telling you a whole bunch of stuff in July, and then November we have Thanksgiving, you looking at him sideways because I done said too much. And I done moved on and forgave him, and you still feeling like, I don't know if I like dude now. So I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to tell no bunch of friends. Like, I wanted to tell someone impartial. But if you're someone who's like, I don't want to talk to a therapist, write it out. Write songs about it. Go for a run. Replace the angst or the rumination with something physical. Listen to podcasts. Figure out a way to thrust yourself into something positive or constructive or productive, rather than just being left with your thoughts. Because I can't speak for nobody else, but honey, the way them thoughts had me in a chokehold, literally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, the thoughts had me on a whole nother wavelength. And for a long time, I could not really back in. And in fact, you'll learn in my last part that I did not reel it back in. There was divine intervention. But I just wanted to share with you, like, one opportunity, a common miracle can just be reflection. Like, just a second where you realize, like, wait a minute. I don't know if y'all ever watched That's So Raven, where she would do the little pause. Like, if you ever had one of them moments, like, wait a minute. Like, I think that trip, that moment in that car, me saying that out of pocket, he called it the D word. Me saying, you know, the D word, just haphazardly, lackadaisically to him, I think was my aha. And I couldn't admit it in that moment because I was still on my horse of I'm standing on business, and I said what I said, and, you know, I couldn't admit fault and that I was wrong and that I was being illogical in the moment because I'm a smart ass. I'm a know-it-all. But once I got home and really thought about it and sat with that thing, I was like, okay, something ain't right. Like, I been knew I was a little off, but I just thought I was tired. But I'm jumping off the deep end on stuff. So I need some help. And I want to leave you with that by saying, if you need some help, that's okay. You please take the help. It is okay. Don't let a thing break you if it doesn't have to. Get the help if it's available. Okay? I will be back either tomorrow or Thursday with, I believe, my final part. But it might have to be 2 parts because this one went way longer than I thought it was going to, y'all. But anyway, y'all have a good evening. Stay blessed. Talk to y'all soon.